All right. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes. Hi,
All
guys.
right,
Oh, hi,
perfect.
Tom. Okay, that's a bit unexpected. Tom is my
Hello.
colleague from my former company, UBS Credit Suisse.
Oh, nice. A little reunion. Okay, perfect. We're letting everybody in here, so we'll just give it a few minutes here. Um, we blasted out the email. Okay, let me just make sure.
So, Tom, unfortunately, Beata won't be joining. She's working on a new contract that we are trying to sign with a new client. So,
Okay.
good stuff.
Now, looking forward to seeing what you guys are doing.
Mm.
Otherwise, it'll be a
Okay.
full reunion, right? We have to do that another time.
Yeah, definitely. Are you planning to come to Texas maybe for World Cup?
I'd love to. No plans yet, unless something comes out the bag. You
Mm.
never know.
Welcome,
Yep.
Jesse. All right, for the sake of time, we're going to go ahead and get started, and we'll just continue to let people in as we go through the webinar. So the floor is yours. If you need anything, I'll be in the background, okay?
Sure thing.
Thank you.
All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Mm. And I think we can make today's session interactive. So, stop me at any time, and I'll try to make also some, let's say, live demo of what you can do in ChatGPT. And I don't know, for you, Tom, it might be too basic. Probably by now you're becoming yourself expert on AI. But the idea is that we wanted to make this whole webinar as, let's say, small and medium-sized business owner friendly as possible. So especially guys who are super busy on, their daily job and do not have time to, work with AI, but at the same time, they know how important this is. So this is geared towards audience like this. All right, so with this quick introduction, all right, can you guys see my screen with the presentation?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so very quickly about me. If you don't know me yet, my name is Przemysław Matecki. I go by nickname Prez, and slightly more than a year ago, I created this company called Assist with AI. We help small and medium-sized businesses basically to introduce AI into their business processes. So our favorite clients are medium-sized companies that are owned by private equity, but also like medium-sized companies that are run by for example, families or just owned by individuals. And yeah, we try to always take the company through all the stages, all the way from, let's say, chatting with ChatGPT, all the way to, through assisted AI, agentic AI, and ultimately what we are trying to achieve is this whole agentic ecosystems of AI solutions. But yeah, before, because you guys probably hear a lot of, about, like, for example, using OpenClaw, or for example Manus, which I don't know you guys know that now it's owned by Facebook, but this is like super easy way to run AI agents. But before you start using AI agents in your company, you should first, let's say, master the basics, then like create some kind of guardrails and policies, and only then sorry, I think. Okay, I think I got briefly disconnected, but
Yeah,
I
it
think
just
you
cut
can
out.
hear me
Just
again. All right. Yeah, so as I was saying, first I'll like start with the basics, and this is what this session is about. Basics, and then you can think about next levels, let's say, of introducing AI into your company. The agenda for this meeting is as follows. So first, I'll discuss AI as a tool, not a strategic decision maker. Especially at the beginning, you should be rather careful. Don't go too heavily into AI without mastering the basics. Then I'll talk about basic prompting, and I'll finish that with how to make a chat work your way using ChatGPT as a platform to present example, like how you can, even on your own, without for example, consultancy companies like mine, how you can configure ChatGPT to actually achieve more with what, well, yeah, with what you're trying to do. Okay, so AI as a tool. So especially at the beginning, as I said, first try to work with AI as your assistant. Do not let it like steer your decisions. Do not let it make strategic decisions for your business on its own. So what we recommend is like AI, just as I said, as you can see here in this table, presents performs as an assistant, and you're the manager, always looking at the results, reading what the AI is saying, and only then deciding if it makes sense for your business, for contact with your clients, and so on. So we divided it into, let's say, four areas where you can start using AI as your assistant. So definitely content creation, and this applies to both drafting emails, creating some text, but also images. And then your role is maybe explaining to AI what should be the right vision, how to change the style. Very often, for example, if you see these emails, replies to emails generated by AI, for example, like if you're using a Gmail, it now by default has this functionality to suggest you what should be the draft, the response to the email you got. But very often, if you're familiar with it, these responses are pretty low quality. So yeah, always before sending any emails, posting any images that you generated with AI, just take a careful look. It could be for images, it could be even like 2-3 seconds, just to check if everything makes sense, let's say, in the image, if there are no things that you wouldn't like to have on the images. Then when it comes to technical logic, so AI is getting really good at writing Excel formulas, codes, especially now Claude Code has a native integration with Office, so you can enable Claude to work directly within Excel or within PowerPoint. I think when it comes to editing Word documents, Claude is not supporting it yet, but I think it's coming, right? But even then, if it's creating formulas or creating presentations, just double check it. When it comes to facts, large language models are still very bad when it comes to, they can, for example, force Excel to create formulas, and then they're utilizing Excel logic to calculate these formulas. But if you ask them to insert some numbers, for example, from your conversation on or from documents that you attach to the conversation into the Excel spreadsheet, unfortunately, double check all these numbers that were installed by AI, because it hallucinates. Then when it comes to structure and flow, so actually AI is really good at it. You can give it messy notes, and recently what I started doing is like with your phone, if you have, for example, Claude installed or Gemini installed, you, for example, go to the event, networking event, you meet with many people, you get their business cards, and now the problem is that okay, these business cards are in paper format. How to actually transfer them to your CRM system or some spreadsheet, whatever you're using to manage your contacts. Now you can just take the picture of this business card, give it to Gemini, Claude, or ChatGPT, and ask it to actually read it. And then if you have a connection, and now very often ChatGPT, for example, support connections to, I don't know, HubSpot or to Google Sheets or even to Excel. And you can just order it to transfer this information from this business card image all the way to your CRM. So it's like, I don't know, a few seconds, even if you have like 20 business cards, just tell it that, okay, I'm attaching you images of 20 business cards, read information from them. Oh, but just make sure that there is no more than one business card on single image, right? Because AI will tell, if you ask about this AI itself, it will answer you that still, when, for example, there are two distinct business cards on one image, AI, the likelihood that AI will confuse what information is on which business card is growing exponentially. So one business card, one image, tell it to upload to your CRM system. Okay. I don't know what's happening, but maybe it's on my end. Okay, I think now I'm back. All right. I'm assuming that you guys can still see my screen. All right. So, but even if you design this workflow like this, for example, getting some. Oh, and I just gave an example of business cards, but you can do the same with even your handwritten notes. AI is getting better almost every day when it comes to like reading handwritten notes. But again, you need to become an architect in this whole process. So what I described sounds simple, but just to implement some guardrails around what should be uploaded, when, to which places, and so on, you need to design it. It's not that difficult. For example, we could help you with that, or maybe you can look up some YouTube videos how to do it. But still, like first you need to create this process on your own, and then you can basically use these AI capabilities. If you like to go even one step further to, for example, write emails to the contacts that you just transferred from these business cards to your CRM, remember that if you don't give like any context to AI in this whole system, it will just draft very generic email messages to these contacts, and probably you don't want that, right? First, like think about the design, your architect here, and only then start using this. Okay, then data handling. So so for example, like if you have already like a database with some spreadsheets, with some PDFs, and you can ask AI to actually identify places where some information gaps exist. So, for example, we have one client that was merging few different invoicing systems, and it turned out that after actually they transferred data from one system to the other, some information were lost or improperly mapped from old system to the new system. So AI could help you with that, and obviously, like small businesses do not have advanced system like that. But think about the spreadsheets. Probably you have like hundreds, if not thousands, of spreadsheets created over the years with some details about your clients. You can give these spreadsheets to AI, and it will tell you exactly like what are the information gaps. But again, if these spreadsheets, for example, have some kind of sensitive data, confidential data, make sure that you're not on free ChatGPT license, but maybe some more advanced, let's say, plan, so that it has some provisions regarding what data is being used for model training and so on. Because if you're on free plan, the data that you're giving to AI may be used to train the models, which means that ultimately it can go to, it can become public, right? And you don't want that. All right, so moving to the next slide. I know that this was a lot, but I just wanted to give you more context so you understand why it's so important to take like these preliminary steps before you go further. Okay, and now when it comes to prompting, you probably heard it many times that you should be the better you design the prompt, the better results you will get. And this is like a very basic frameworks. There are many different frameworks of how you create the prompts themselves. This basic one is like role, task, context, and format. Obviously, it's always good if the more information, the better structured information you provide within the prompt, the better quality you will get of the answer. But not many people like think about this, why it's so important. And the reason is that remember that when you're querying these large language models, it's not like you're querying them directly, like you're querying their brain directly. Under the hood, there are some embedded prompts that were designed by the provider of these large language models that are strictly telling it what to do, what not to do, how to answer to it, how to answer to you, and so on. So, for example, yeah, if you ask any of the Chinese models about any problems with Chinese Communist Party, or if you ask any prompts regarding how to build some weapons or I don't know, dangerous chemicals or something like that, it will not answer you. And the reason, or not answer you like in any meaningful way. And the reason for that is just because before it reached the let's say the brain of these large language models, it went through all these filters, all these additional prompts that are embedded and that are hidden. Some of the prompts, I mean, some of the information, if you're interested in this topic, some of these hidden prompts are explained on the websites of these large language model providers, but most of them remain hidden. Okay, and yeah, and as I said, like they are also configured to, if you query these models specifying like your role, task, context, format, and so on, they'll also they are instructed to reply to you in more structured way, in better way. All right, moving to the next one. So there are some other keywords that I won't go through all of them, but for example, you can be creative when talking with AI. So for example, instead of asking how to solve given problem, let it play devil advocate and tell it explicitly to be a devil's advocate. So for example, like you talk about the problem and ask it specifically to stress test it, let's say. Or for example, constraints first, right? So tell it that you will upfront explain to large language model what are your constraints, and then it will like take it really seriously when replying to you. So it will put like more weight to constraints when crafting answer for you. Okay, I can share this presentation to everyone on this call after the call, so you will have it. And obviously, you can ask AI itself, like, what are the power keywords that are useful when, for example, asking about this and that, right? And it will tell you right away. All right, now let's move to the next slide. Or maybe let me stop here. Are there any questions to what I explained till now? Because now I'll be going more into practical use cases, like this leads me to a demo that I want to do today for you. But are there any questions to this conceptual side, let's say, of working with large language models? Okay, if not, then okay, let's move on. There are some interesting techniques that you can use that are more advanced than just simply improving your prompting. And one of these techniques is large language model council. I like this technique, especially if you want, if I want to have like different views on a particular topic. The good example is when I'm creating legal documents. Obviously, like you should ultimately run your legal documents through specialists, right? So through attorney and so on. But if you had like, if you want to achieve like really good first draft, what I do is I explain the situation, explain what I need, all these prompting techniques that I described, but give the prompt itself to 3 different large language models. So Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, and then, for example, I collect all these 3 answers that I got from them, and give all of them to 4th, let's say, independent large language model, just to review it, take the best parts of the answers I got from these 3 different large language models, and then create it into one consolidated, coherent answer. And this works really, really well. Just because what I described before, like each large language model has this different hidden prompts under the hood. And that's the reason why they are answering in different ways. They are focusing on different, let's say, aspects of what you want to achieve. And then when you combine it, this four language models can actually decide what adds value to what you want to achieve, right? Okay, so that's one technique. Then if you're, for example, not sure how to even create a prompt, how to ask a large language model to help you, let's say reverse the table and ask large language model to create a list of questions. I mean, just give a very brief description of what you're trying to achieve, what's your problem, and so on, and then ask it to ask you the follow-up questions. And then just keep this conversation with a large language model, and at the end, ask it just to summarize it and write a well-designed prompt that then you can use, for example, in another chat window, and run it from there. And why I would like to, why I recommend to run it actually in this new chat window is that maybe not many of you already reached this problem, but it is a real problem that this, especially on free plans, this chat windows have like a certain predefined maximum length. So if you like keep talking with given large language model for like longer period of time, answering questions and clarifying things and so on, at some point it will tell you that it reached the limit. Obviously now, for example, Claude has this technique that is compressing the conversation and trying to give you more time to talk with it on single chat window. But really, the longer the conversation gets, the higher the chances that given large language models will start hallucinate, will start confusing. So just it's better to create a new prompt with all the critical details and start a new chat window. All right. So then this system prompt and master prompt. These are really interesting concepts. They are slightly different than what we discussed till now. Till now, we more like focused on prompting, or in case of this LLM Council, like combining forces of large language models. But system prompt and master prompt is more like how you pre-configure on a, let's say, global level instructions that you give to large language models. So the the system prompt is something that you can configure for your entire, let's say, account with given large language model. This is more about telling large language model what style do you prefer of answers, shorter, longer, more detailed, if it should be thinking profoundly about the topics, or maybe just for selected topics you wanted to think profoundly, but if you ask about different things that you don't require actually these detailed answers, then you can tell it in the system prompt, right? Master prompt is, I mean, there are some different definitions, but the way we describe it is this is something more specific to your business. So you can create a, well, system prompt could be, for example, on a global level of your entire large language model account. Master prompt will be something that you create specifically for your single department. Or, for example, for single, I don't know, client. If you're on this enterprise license or any higher license that protects your client data, let's say, you can even create almost like a profile of your client in these large language models, and whenever he's asking you questions, I know, proposing something, or maybe you want to offer something new to this client, you can set up a like global master prompt that will explain the whole context around this client or around this particular department. So it's like a conversation instruction, but on a particular part of your business or your entire business. Okay, so now the last part, and this is where we'll actually use this concept of system prompt and master prompt. So let me open. We have a dummy ChatGPT account just for the sake of presentations. So this is how your ChatGPT account looks like. I think the Go level is, I mean, the Go plan of ChatGPT is the lowest paid plan. But yeah, this is basically your almost like a default view when you open ChatGPT. So if I was a small or medium-sized business owner and I wanted to configure ChatGPT to really help me in the business, I would first start with this system prompt. So the way you do it is like you just click on your account here in the bottom left corner, go to settings, and then you can, in personalization, you can here give it this custom instructions. And as you can see, it's a free text field. You can fill it with any information. In our case, in our business case, like we told it where we are based, because also the answers it will give us gives us will be better if they are oriented toward, let's say, Texas-based clients. Yeah, we explained who are our clients in general, and in the real configuration that we are using, actually, our primary platform is Claude, but Claude is in this aspect at least is very similar to ChatGPT. Obviously, the custom instruction that we give it on a global level is like way longer. But yeah, there are also some, as you can see here, drop downs where even if you don't like to type all these instructions, some basic instructions you can change here, right? If it's replying to you in warmer tone, less warm tone, more enthusiastic, less enthusiastic. So this is like the, I don't know, 3 seconds or 10 seconds version of configuring how ChatGPT should respond to you. And you can also give some additional information about you, about your business, occupation, and stuff like that. So this will all set additional context, and then, because obviously you're doing it, this configuration, just to not repeat it every time that you're prompting ChatGPT, for example, right? So yeah, it will help set the context. The next thing I would do is actually create these projects. I don't know if you heard about the concept of projects in ChatGPT, but think about this as a like your working space that you create, and whatever you discuss within this project will not be accessible from, let's say, different chats that you have with ChatGPT. So let's say now this demo part starts. Let's say we are running, okay, let's say restaurant. So let's call it Prez Restaurant. Okay, and we create this project. And yes, any questions from anyone? Okay.
Sorry, we're gonna try to mute a few people. I think some people have their mic on. Cindy, I think you have your mic on. We'll mute you here.
It won't tell you. Or does it say?
Okay. So in a similar fashion as we just configured, let's say, instruction on a whole account level, you can create specific instruction on project level. So I think it's here, yeah, project settings. And here you can provide more detailed instruction about your, let's say, in this case, restaurant. So let's say this is Dallas-based restaurant with, let's say, 10 employees serving, I don't know, Tex-Mex food. And obviously, the more you give here about your business, and again, not the confidential information, but more to set the context, the better large language models will be able to help you. But okay, let's keep it as simple as that. let's save it. And then when starting a new business, you need to create like range of new documents, right? And you probably encountered many times this problem that, I mean, if you were using ChatGPT or any large language models to discuss the documents that you already have, or spreadsheets or something like that. But let's say for now just some Word documents. And you probably realize that if you just use a simple chat, you can upload this document and start chatting with ChatGPT or other language model, and it will tell you, for example, you can change this line, that line, or it will give you some pieces of text that you can copy paste into this document. But this is like a lot of manual work going back and forth. I mean, it's slightly better if you have integration with, for example, Google Documents set up in ChatGPT. Then maybe to some extent it can do edits with you. I mean, for you, but it would be much better if you can right away make edits to this document within this chat window. And this is what Canvas functionality is for. So again, you just click plus here, more, and go to Canvas. Okay, it first asks me to like what kind of documents we will be creating. So let's say, I don't know, safety rules for let's create safety rules for my employees. Okay, let's say I need to follow Texas regulations, and my employees are mainly, I don't know, guys under 35 years old with limited experience. So write this document in a way easy to read for them. Okay. And then it starts. Okay, and right away, here at the top, you can see that you have this edit button. And okay, I think it first needs to finish writing this document. Okay, I'm almost there. All right, cool. And then we can go and hit this edit button. And as you can see, it opened it in a split screen view. So here is still my chat, but on the right-hand side, you can actually start editing. So there is no point in writing prompts to ChatGPT and explaining. If you just want to change, like, I know this. Okay, for example, like I don't like this beginning of the sentence. You can just literally just click, highlight it, click delete, and that's it, right? And ChatGPT has like live access to it. So if you even like modify a lot of things here, delete something, add something, and so on, ChatGPT sees the latest version of this document, right? So if you keep talking with it, it won't revert to some previous version, right? But obviously you can say directly, for example, I know, let's take this title of the section, and let's tell it rewrite it. I don't like how it's phrased. And what you'll see is should be happening is that it says new document, but as you can see, it didn't modify like any other parts. It understood that it has to modify just this part, and it did it live, right? So you don't have to, I know, look at this document again, you can almost see the changes right away. Okay, so this is Canvas. And yeah, let me maybe pause here and ask you guys if you'd like me to guide you through some other examples, maybe how to write some other documents, or I don't know, maybe you have some experiences on your own working with ChatGPT, and I know you have some questions because you encounter some problems and so on. Or maybe I should repeat something that I discussed so far. So up to you guys. Okay, so if there are no questions, let me maybe ask you guys, like, what...
Sorry, I'm sorry. I need to drop off, but thank you so much. I've got to join a call for work, but thank you. Really appreciate it. I've definitely learned a couple of things there. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Bye.
Cheers.
I did have a question that I think we've been posed here a lot with the members that typically come in when it comes to leveraging something like ChatGPT, specifically for I know sometimes when sending out an invoice, there's generally a scope of work that needs to be detailed in an invoice, or maybe that is the scope of work that needs to be sent out. Would that be a good example of maybe a way to leverage something like ChatGPT?
Oh, yes, definitely. So, okay. So,
and are there specific parameters that one should keep in mind when instructing it to create a scope of work or a proposal?
So first of all, I would like really think, okay, this is even, okay, let me maybe exit here. These projects here are extremely powerful. I mean, we are using it, okay, in Claude, but it's exactly the same concept. We are using it almost on a daily basis. So, but you just need to think like how you want to architect this this structure of projects, because unfortunately there is no such thing as creating one project and then sub projects under it, because ideally I would like to have like one project that is, let's say, assist with AI, and then sub projects that are for sales, then I know marketing, accounting, any HR aspects, projects, and so on. But no, unfortunately, you have to like separately create, as of now. I hope they will change it soon. Probably they will. But as of now, you need to create like separate project for each, let's say, part of your business. So, okay, with this limitation in mind, what I would recommend is, for example, for your scope of work things, create a dedicated project for it, or maybe it could be project for a combination of your, because you probably have different types of clients, right? So maybe create one project that will be combination of client type and usual scope of work that you're performing for this client. And then in the instruction, like explain what documents you usually create for these documents. And for example, like what's your usually conversation, or what kind of processes do you have to, I don't know, make the deal with this client? And remember that the beauty of this whole ChatGPT, or in my case Claude, is that you can create it as a platform that is helping your entire business. So, okay, you create the projects for this particular, let's say, client type and this type of scope of work. You can give it a template. Once you have a project created, you can add sources to it, meaning you can add here templates of your documents that you usually send to such clients. And then imagine that. Then you can also connect it to, I think you go to settings and apps. And if you go to explore apps, probably you will have Gmail here. Okay, they don't have collaboration with Gmail, but Outlook. Okay, so if you're using Outlook, you can make a connection between your ChatGPT account and Outlook, and it will be able to, I mean, just read what it can do, but I'm pretty sure what it can do is like read your emails and draft emails that you'll be sending to clients. So again, going back to our project. So once you have templates here created in sources, once you have like instruction explaining like how you usually deal with these clients, you can just write a prompt saying, I have a new client, and then remember when I told you that you can actually attach like a business card, like photo of a business card. I have a client, and let's say I would attach a photo of his business card. See his card attached, and then tell it. I mean, it already has an instruction in mind, let's say, configured here in this project settings, right? So it understands like if you have a new client, because let's say in the instruction you exactly said like what happens if you have a new client. So I have a new client. He asked me about a new job for him, and let's say he asks you, okay, you have his business card, but he asks you about this new job over email, right? So I have a new job for him. Look at my emails. And just because you gave a business card of this client, here you attach it, ChatGPT will understand who is new client because probably on this business card will be its email. So it will check your Outlook, assuming you're using Outlook, look for emails from this particular person, and it will understand like what kind of job this client is asking about. And okay, so it understands the situation, it understands your process, you have a contact to this person. Now, okay, we'll tell it using templates. You don't even have, you may have like multiple templates, right, of different documents. So using, you can even say the most appropriate template from your sources. Draft me SOE for this client. Okay, I know that I'm mixing up stages of communicating with clients, but I'm just telling you, like, in general, like, how you could use ChatGPT to make it happen, like, almost automatically, right? Draft me a statement of work for this client, and put it as a draft in my mailbox. And remember, like, it could be even shorter. What I wrote here, I wrote only just for the sake of almost like visualizing you how this prompt could look like. But in my case, in my business case, just because we already configured so much around these projects, instructions, templates, and so on, I just write new client. And that's it. And I hit enter. And then it goes to like my project instruction, because let's assume like I can even tell it like whenever I say in, okay, I say in prompt, okay, let's maybe make it slash new client, do, okay, and here you can paste whatever you want it to do, right? So almost like the whole instruction that I gave here before, you can encode in the instruction of the prompt. And it's like, then it's just, you know, it's saving you so much time that is unbelievable. But again, like it took us, it's not a work for like 1 day or half a day or something like that. We've been working on this whole system, let's say, to work as I just described to you for days, if not weeks. just to make sure that we have, because okay, one is like configuring some positive prompts, right? For as is described, like some context, what should AI do in this and or that scenario. But then you need to you'll see that even with all these instructions, all this context, all these documents that you attach to it, it will be hallucinating, it will be confusing things. So then you need to write some negative prompts. So for example, never use M dashes, you know, these long dashes that that AI puts everywhere, right? Or for example, never send email by yourself, right? So you need to really like give it almost like it's at the beginning it's a trial and error. You need to like start running it, see what mistakes AI makes, and then keep adding negative prompts, keep expanding this instruction. So in our case, this whole instruction for a particular project could be, I don't know, 3 pages long, right? Okay, I know that's a lot, but really, if you make it happen for your business, I guarantee you it will be a huge time saver. All right. So, okay, I think that's all I wanted to discuss. There are some other concepts, but like using Notebook LM, using custom GPTs and so on. But I think we already covered a lot today. So I don't want to like keep giving you more and more information just to avoid confusing you. So any questions, guys? And again, like maybe let me ask you guys. What's your experience with AI so far? Where are you at? Do you just casually chat with ChatGPT, or maybe you use already this kind of project features, Canvas features, and so on, or maybe some other features that I haven't covered?
I was going to share a use case that some of the feedback that we've gotten from some of our membership. When we sit down here at the Forward Hispanic Chamber with a lot of our members that typically come in for one-on-one consultations, a lot of what they in many cases come prepared with is a general overview of their business, or maybe even a very slimmed down version of what a business plan is. And typically what they do from the feedback that we've gotten is they go into something like ChatGPT and they pretty much start providing as much context as they can about their business, services, what's their value proposition, what are some of the things that sets them apart, what specific customer they're trying to target, differentiators, competitors, to help form a really well thought out business overview. I've seen it work a lot for a lot of the members that typically come in, because in many cases they use that to, if they want to present it to a bank, or if they're wanting to just attach it to a resume or capability statement. So I think that's a really powerful use case, especially when you think about some of the events. If specifically if you're in the construction world or contractor world, you in most cases lead with capability statements. So that's one very powerful use case that we've experienced here at the chamber. And in some cases, we also leverage tools like this to further assist members that maybe aren't too familiar with the process, but they need assistance with this.
Okay. And do you know if the members that you mentioned that are putting a lot of context into ChatGPT, do they use it in a systematic way? Meaning, because we know that okay, you can put all this context once, but very often the situation is changing. New clients are coming. I know some rules change and so on, and then it becomes like a problem how to update it. And well, some let's say quick solution would be to put instead of giving it to ChatGPT, let's say, directly by opening new chats and telling it how your business operates, you can put them, for example, on Google Drive or some kind of SharePoint in form of maybe text documents. And then, as I described here, you will see that you can, okay, ChatGPT is connected with Google Drive. So it would be probably best if you have them on Google Drive. And then like updates this document actually there in Google Drive instead of just keep telling ChatGPT what is changing.
Yeah,
So,
and to answer your question, no, I don't think they have it set up systematically the way that you've described it. I mean, I think the way that you've described it here is really the ideal format that you should really be operating with tools like this. So it helps us, I think, even, and I'm sure the people that are on here, it helps them with just that additional, value that you get from knowing something like this, because it does help to have everything integrated to really for the sake of efficiency.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, this is, believe me, this is what we are very often doing for our clients. Like our clients are following almost always the same pattern as you described, just chatting with ChatGPT. But yeah, the real power comes from system like that. So this is where we come and help businesses. But obviously, like, you can do it on your own. Like it's not a rocket science. As you can see, almost what I described today is, I mean, if you just open few probably YouTube tutorials how to do it, you can do it on your own. But if you prefer, like, I don't know, us to do it, we can always help. Okay, so I think that would be all for today, unless there are some last minute questions. All right, so thank you guys. I hope this was helpful, and I encourage you to join the third and last session of this series, which will be happening same time, Thursday next week. I hope Beata will present with me as well. So thank you guys, and have a great afternoon.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for joining. We'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.